right, welcome back to Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Vinny.
I'm Dylan. Today we're going to kind of look at the Qs, the SPY. Earnings week is ahead of us, so we're going to try to predict, probably not successfully, what's going to happen because it's earnings week. We have no idea what's going to happen. And Vinny's got a cool little trade that we're going to go over too. That makes money on.
All right, if you guys enjoy this kind of entertaining stock market content of Two Stupid Guys Trading Stocks, by all means, give us a like and subscribe below. We'd love to have you guys along this adventure. With that, we'll get to it.
Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks.
All right,
and that's us clueless.
Yeah. This is a hell of a week coming up here, huh?
Yeah, this is overwhelming. There's so many different companies. Oh God, there's a lot. So basically, it's impossible to try to predict in an earnings week what's going to happen. We have a video, actually, I guess coming out after this video on Intel. They dropped like insane. So
yeah, down 12% after their earnings were announced. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, some major highlights this week. You got Facebook, we got Alphabet, we got Microsoft, we got AMD. Really crazy week. Apple is also later on, Amazon later on this week. I mean, the vast majority of people's retirement accounts basically relies on this week of trading.
Yes, it's quite wild. I simplified it. Go to the next slide for me. Just because that's super, super busy. Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Facebook, that's 22% of the S&P.
Yeah.
And then other notable companies, I just put some on the right. Bigger companies, obviously not as big as the FANG stocks, but still pretty big.
Yeah, exactly. Always good to keep track on that. Yeah, this is crazy.
So this is what we got so far. This was last week. Once again, tons of companies are reporting earnings over the course of 2 weeks. This was just some highlights last week of some big companies. Tesla up 7%, Snap down 30%. That was not ideal. They lost a third of their net worth.
Yeah, they dragged down Facebook a little bit with that too.
They did. Intel, obviously, and then Johnson Johnson, Procter & Gamble barely moving like they always do. So.
Yeah. I mean, not surprising given those companies. So this is a little trade I was looking at. I did something similar the last time we had a big tech earnings week. So basically what I did is this is a debit put spread. So I'm going to shell out about $40 here with a possibility of making, turning that 40 into 200. I'm going to do this in my little stimulus check account. Last time I opened the position for around $40, say, and it at one point was worth almost like 200, and I closed it at about 80% profit. Yeah, so it was a good kind of little trade because on that Tuesday of that earnings week we caught a big red day, a lot of volatility there. So I'm more surprised if we saw something similar like that this week. So I figured it's worth a shot.
I'm going to say it's either going to go. The Qs in general are going to go really high or really low. Because we're at that kind of point right now, so
Interesting. Yeah, so this is from optionscalculator.com basically. So this is the trade is looking at like a $36 entry. This is what the profit and loss graph looked like for it. So if you get a big, not even like a huge pop down, but like kind of drop in one day, you can quickly go to profit very, very early on in the week. As you get later in the week, it's a little bit harder for that to happen. And I was kind of my mistake is that I held on to it too long, but I think it's worth a shot. Want to go to your chart here?
Yeah. So this is the Qs. Usually we try to analyze and do all this stuff. Right now it's kind of pointless because earnings week and, there's really no technical analysis for earnings week. So I'd be interested to see what everyone else thinks is going on for this. But essentially, I'm not too convinced that this is like an upwards move because the last couple days we have higher volume on red days. The white days are green. I just don't like green. On the up days, we actually have lower volume, so wasn't a fan of that. But if you look at the SPY as well, we did actually hit all-time highs, barely. This little nub here, barely hit it. So this just seems like a pretty insane high move on decreasing volume every single time.
Yeah.
So to me, it looks a little bit like a trap, but you never know. So.
That little doji at the end, would you call that a doji?
Yeah, I don't like this. Not a fan. Once again, higher volume on a day where you were trying to make highs, and it did make a high, but it also set a low. This was kind of a big candle, so I don't like this move with this. It shows a lack of conviction to the upside, and I don't know. Me personally, I think that we're gonna have a dip, but earnings week, Apple could say that they just made $3 trillion in a quarter, and that's not gonna matter. So no way to know.
Yeah.
So, that's it.
All right. Well, yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'm curious. Do you have any trades planned for this week, or just?
I'm so in the Stim account, I haven't even touched it because I'm doing too many things.
Mhm.
I was thinking about just buying 1Q put, just
Okay.
all my money on the 1Q put, probably a $400 put,
Okay.
and just see what happens.
Interesting.
I don't think that this is gonna go well, but once again, it's it's earnings. Microsoft can come out and say they made a new 3D computer. Like, I don't know, like anything could happen. There's like 4 weeks a year where this happens, where you have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
So
I love
this
it.
isn't that week.
All right. Well, let us know what you guys think. Like, what are your trades for this week? We're kind of curious how other people are playing this mega cap tech earnings week.
If anything, I might short Tesla, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, Michael Burry is happy to hear that, but he's out.
I think Burry backed out too soon.
Yeah.
I think I might open one.
Maybe he opened too soon too. I'm not that clearly that's the case at this point, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think
All right.
so.
See you in the next one.
Later.